Hey guys, Shay with Hawaii Market Alert. You don't hear me say that too often, and you've heard a little bit of my talk about some of the challenges coming out of Texas and the potential ramifications. I'm not sure that these two are associated, but what I can tell you is you need to watch out for medium yellows. Medium yellows have increased in price just in the last 2 days of last week. So this report should be coming out on March 1st. Thursday and Friday of last week, we saw a $1.50 to $2 increase in 1 day. There are not enough medium yellows available anymore. And why? Well, the Texas crop is sizable if it comes off at all, but even if it does, there's not many mediums. That's number one. Number two, the entire Northeast and Central Canadian areas are short on onions, and that's coming to the forefront and very visible at this point. They're needing lots of volume, and that volume is not available in the medium size, is not available for the market. So we're going to see prices increase on medium yellows even more. I would assume that then pulls the medium size up a little bit larger into a mumbo or a small jumbo, and that will reduce the availability of jumbos that are on the market. So I think this is finally what everyone anticipated. I've been really bearish this entire time. You probably heard that from me. I've been bullish before, but I haven't seen the reason. Now, I've seen the reasons, but I haven't had the mindset shift to get me to a place where I'm bullish. I'm getting there, guys. Keep an eye on your jumbos. Keep an eye especially on your mediums, and colossals, and supers are going to be tight as well. Still, food service isn't shipping very heavily, so I don't think you need to worry about that yet. So where are we at? The market today. You're going to see medium yellows at 7.5. I would not be surprised to see $8 when this thing comes out. So Monday, we should easily see $8. Jumbos, I think that's going to put a jumbo up from 5. In fact, there's jumbo pricing out there as high as 7. So I'm gonna say the real price on jumbos is going to be 7 to 7.5, a soft 7.5. Colossals are bringing $7 every day, and super colossals are going to be 7.5 to 8. Reds are starting to see calls even from Mexico for reds. That means the red supply, although still ample, does have a good chance of increasing as well. Current prices today, 5.5 to 6 on a 25-pound jumbo red, and $1 down on medium reds. Whites continue to be soft. They're very, very soft in Mexico, so I don't see the price changing much there. They can be had for around $14 on both sizes. They're just not a big enough part of the market to really worry about the outlook. So what do I see? Well, what I think is important is all of the calls, all of the emails, all of the worried customers that have not been on contract, and for reasons that are well known. COVID doesn't allow the restaurants and the restaurant suppliers to buy the way that they need to. And what I mean by that is they don't know what supply or what volume they need, so how can they be expected to buy on contract? Well, they're seeing the likelihood of the stores opening, number one. Number two, they're seeing the problems beginning to emerge in Texas, and so everyone is ready to contract and ready to get back on contract. But I think they're going to see some resistance from the farmers that have onions available to contract. I know that I am a little bit. We've had the onions, but we've had to sell them 100% at market, which means we've been, to some extent, the insurance policy for the restaurants by not forcing them or making it necessary for them to pay anything other than our below-cost prices that we've had. And so we, as growers, taken the brunt, I would say, on that in some ways. Now, I don't want to be a restaurant owner, and I'm not. It's been awful for them to be restaurant owners. So take that for what it's worth. It'd be so hard to have a restaurant and have it closed for this duration of time. So I get the fact that they have to be aggressive, but in turn, we've still lost money in the onions, at least for the last 8 or 9 months. We have to be aggressive as well. So contracting is going to be difficult. That lack of a willingness to contract is going to create additional volatility and additional pressure coming into a summer when everything is likely to open back up or open up on a significant level. And I just think this is kind of the perfect storm. I think there's ample onions. I think there's just additional volatility in the marketplace that is going to play a role in how pricing continues. Trucking, let's talk about that for a second. Trucking has been hideously bad. really bad ever since Texas had their storm. It's really been bad all season, but especially once Texas had their storm. So that's going to be an additional problem, an additional thing to be concerned about, an additional thing to think about as we go forward. The freight on all of this is a big problem. Texas is obviously opened back up. The trucks are being redistributed and moved back out. I think we'll see pricing come down. But if we see food service pick up, I don't think that the over-the-road freight can keep up. It hasn't been keeping up so far. And so that's just something else to be concerned about. I don't see pricing coming down. Fuel prices are also up, so there's additional pressure for the pricing on freight not to come down. That's my 2 cents. I hope you guys are doing great. Outlook, let me talk about that really quick. I'm getting a little long-winded here. Fall plantings. We haven't planted a single onion in the Treasure Valley yet. We normally like to have something planted by now. We don't have to have something planted by now, but we normally like to. So we're a little late, but not late enough that it's going to impact when our harvest occurs yet. So what else can I tell you? That's it. I'm just going to get too long-winded here anyway. Take care, guys. We'll see you.